The Amico event was yesterday at Boomers in Irvine, California. Let's see what people have to say. Maybe we can get some pictures or something. Let's see. Didn't have my camera out because they made you sign a waiver saying you couldn't record footage of the games. Wait, what?
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There is no Patreon, no super chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them. Collect them. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Well, it's the first week of football. I'm here relaxing, and I wanted to do some constructive criticism. I know many of you that are not as enthusiastic about collecting the system as I am, and especially their physical products, enjoy when I make certain observations on this company. The point of this video is constructive criticism, number one. Number two is maybe give you some pointers on what to look for in companies that you're looking maybe at investing. Maybe you have your own business and you want to avoid these pitfalls. Number one, maybe you're part of an organization that's looking to do something like this and you really don't want to make these kind of mistakes. Number one, have you ever attended a booth where they don't want you to take pictures? That's the whole point of the booth. For people to take pictures, to interact with you, to be excited about your product. That tells you one thing. The reason for this is just for investors, maybe making a video for advertising. You don't really want that. If you're going to do that, do it in a controlled environment. Just go rent a studio, take pictures, and put your product in the best possible light. But having this event where people can talk about how you censor images is terrible for public relations. If your organization is doing that, stop. Once that gets out on the internet, it's pretty hard to take back. What is it that you don't want pictured? Is it the things that you don't have finished? Well, if they're not finished, why are you making videos in the exterior, right? So these are contradictions. Let me tell you one thing. For all the years that I worked putting up shows, working for different companies, there isn't any show for any company that I've ever worked with, some of which have been smaller companies than this one, where I would have put up a booth like this and not been fired. Okay? What this company is showing you right here, again, this is constructive criticism. Right? They're suffering from something that many corporations do, where they have too many chiefs, too many managers, and not enough workers. What's the good of having a couple of six-figure employees there if they don't know what they're doing?
Okay guys, and let me clarify, when they say they don't know what they're doing, it's just business related. You don't need engineers to connect consoles. There's a reason you don't have an engineer, for example, in a company change out the toilet paper in the bathrooms or clean the bathrooms, because they're overqualified. It's different if these guys are showing up on their own time, but nobody's going to work for free. What you're looking at here is you're burning through payroll and burning it at a high rate, which is not something that you want to do in your company, correct? If you're going to do this type of setup, for example, in your organization, what you want is, if you don't have the talent in-house, which you should, by the way, but let's say you don't have it in-house, then you hire it out with clear expectations of what they're going to do. There's so many things here in this picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Anywhere that I've worked in sales, if I would have put up an event and I showed up dressed like this, I would have been fired. In any event that I put up where I was promoting any of our products, and I brought over a high-skilled person that wasn't scheduled to be there, that didn't need to be there, I would have been fired. What would be a better presentation for this? What could you have done different? If you were doing this event, let's say it was your organization, number one, if you didn't have the expertise and if you didn't have all the material, hire it out. Even if you have all the tools and props and everything, you hire it out. When I was setting up these events, the only thing my boss had to do was come in, stir his drink, and take pictures with happy customers. Mingle. That's about it. He wasn't setting up anything. He wasn't doing anything. The engineers weren't doing anything. Why? Because I could hire that out with labor that was a lot cheaper and a lot more efficient. There's people that do this for a living that will set up a wonderful booth, professionally done, for a lot less money that you're looking on screen here now. So all you're doing here is burning capital. You don't want to do that in your organization, number one. Number two, you don't get a second chance to make a good impression. Are these the guys you really want to see, regardless of who they are, okay? I'm not talking about them personally. I'm saying, do you want to see people dressed like this for something that you're looking to maybe purchase? No. This is something you would see at the swap meet. This is something you would see, at a farmer's market or something like that. This is not professional. That's what I'm talking about. Do not make these mistakes in your organization. You're not going to get a second chance to make a good impression. This does not look professional, guys. Now let's move on and make some other points. Merchandising, and more merchandising. Remember, guys, merchandising is free advertising. Every employee that was there should have been wearing Amico products. Water bottles, whatever they could put out there, right? And you always have free samples there for the customers that show up and want to play, but you also have things that you can sell, things that you can order. You can have your app there. You want to promote your company. That's a big missed opportunity. If you look at professional setups, employees are wearing company shirts and they're all tagged professionally. That's what they should look like when they go to any booth that you put up, whether it's at a trade show or anywhere else where you set up. Whether it's the company you work for or your own company, there's two things that have to come across to the customer: quality and trust.
There's a couple of things here that should be red flags for you in your organization if you don't have them set up. Number one being the kiosk.
The engineer that left a comment on working at Intellivision Entertainment said that this company was reactionary and it was not proactive, and it can be shown here. There is no excuse for Intellivision Entertainment not to have kiosk at this point. From working in manufacturing, I can tell you that you can job these out and they'll cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 if you want them with all the bells and whistles, and you can put your monitors there, and these should be done. You should not be using tables. That looks amateurish. You need a better presentation. This is a big red flag right here, because the company raised money, and at that time, what was it, the $11 million, and they said that they were going to use that for promotional purposes. Where's the money? Where is the money? You should have these kiosks done. They shouldn't take more than 90 days to do. Even if you started doing them at that Crayola event, these should be done. These should be done with your logos, with the stickers, with everything. There's no excuse for not having any kiosk. If your organization is presenting any type of electrical products or electronic products that are going to be handled by the public, kiosks are mandatory. So this right here is a red flag.
Painted, powder coated to whatever color you want. Baby blue Amico, done. You put your console there, the TV goes on there, and it looks spectacular. You paint that just like a car. First impressions are everything. What impression does this give? This looks like it was set up by college kids. There is no excuse for them not to have kiosks set up right now, because you know what the product's going to look like and you know what the controllers do. It's very simple.
When making first impressions, this setup right here is just not going to work.
Remember, first impressions are everything. So what should you do?
You use the industry standard, guys. It's been working for years. You have a dependable crew that has been trained, that sets up your booth or displays ahead of time, well ahead of time, before anybody shows up. That way they're not looking at cords, they're not looking at the infrastructure of whatever you're building, right? You don't want somebody to stop by and take pictures like they did here and showing you putting things together. That's not what you want. You want somebody that's prepared early and gets stuff done before the boss gets there, before the customers get there. so you create the best impression possible. Number 2, your booth should be professionally done. Look at this one here, just something very simple, $1,800. And you have a big screen on it. You really want to stand out if you're displaying a product that's electronic or goes on your TV. A video game is great, right? In a 35, 55 inch, whatever they had there. But imagine if you had it on on a 7-foot screen. It would look even more amazing. People would be attracted to that. You have to have some sort of hook. You have to have your merchandise there. You have to have people answering questions in a professional manner. All those things are missed opportunities that were not present at this event. Don't let that happen to your company. If you're looking at other companies, look at that. Is this present in your organization? Do you guys have challenges with this? This is a good learning experience, guys. The purpose of this video is just not to dunk on people. It's to make observations and learn.
A criticism that one of his engineers raised, one of the guys that left, by the way, said, this company is reactionary. They're not proactive. And that has probably a lot to do with the owner. You don't want that. You want to be prepared. You want to have 2 of everything. When I used to show up at the booths, I had 2 power cords. I had a generator in case everything went out. And this is one of the best things I ever did, and I learned from a previous boss. We went to go put a show, and everything was out. The power went out. Not for us. It was an outdoor event, and I had a generator, and all I did is turn it on. Well, I was the only booth that had a working refrigerator, right? So I had cold drinks. I was on. I had the TV. I had the game on. So everybody came to us because I was prepared. That's how prepared you want to be in your presentations. It doesn't matter where you take your product. It doesn't matter where you take it, whether it's a small event like this or a big event. Your presentation should be 100% professional to anybody who sees it. Even in a small place like this, let's say you got in there and there's a little booth. It's supposed to be outdoors, but you have all these banners. You have your tables decorated properly. You have kiosks, and people are going, man, this is just like the old days. Just like the old days, right? Boom, we're playing. Everybody's recording it. You're taking pictures. I had a great time. But this ain't it.
Imagine this, guys, in today's world of social media where everything gets posted and shared, and that's how products are promoted. You have to sign a waiver that you won't record. You're doing the exact opposite of what the market is driving right now. That should be a big red flag. Even the biggest Amico and television apologist should have a problem with this. If you're looking for the console to do great numbers and do great things, this should be a little troublesome. And I can hear the apologists already. Poor Tommy, he's trying. And when you guys give this company a pass, it seems like you're talking about your uncle that's trying to start a company out of his garage. This is not the case with this company. They have millions in working capital, and you don't see it reflecting here. Their traveling booth should be worth at least 20 grand minimum. That's not reflected here. So it's either lack of experience or poor performance. Either way, if you're an investor or if you're looking to see this company succeed in the future, you should be worried because it doesn't look like they're learning from the past. If you compare this to the event in Texas, for example, do you see a lot of improvement? Is there anything that's changed? Not significantly. And the budget needs to be used better. There needs to be more money spent on these presentations because they're really giving the company a black eye. Don't let this happen to your organization. Make sure you have enough funding in the budget if you're going to do a presentation of this type. Remember, this is just not criticism. Learn it for your benefit. Don't make these same mistakes.
That's constructive criticism for you. That's not hate, okay? That's not being overly critical about any particular person. I'm judging their work. This work is subpar.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.